that reminds you of that one true love. You know, the song that gives you chills, a string of mixed emotions that have you seeing red. But in the same as that red seems anger, it's also burning love from there. Reminiscing on the good times in the first verse, but by the chorus you feel the burning from the hurt. How can one heal from the betrayal of the heart? Betrayal can be so confusing, not knowing who to trust, who to help fuck your life up, you or him, them or you. This way we look in the mirror and take accountability of ourselves, never to make excuses for another, but know the power that healing has, that word forgiveness can turn it around. Healing beyond betrayal. Oh, I'm taking back my power. I forgive you. I forgive me. This is my finest hour. No more living in the pain. No more holding on to blame. Beyond betrayal. And here comes another song that pulls through your soul, reminding you how you allowed yourself betrayal to lock you down for so long. By the end of the song, you found your inspiration to forgive your heart, forgive your mind, and your fucked up decision. But what you went through, that experience can never be taken away. It's that lifelong lessons that made you the woman, the person that you are today. Your forgiveness is the key to healing beyond betrayal. So baby girl, I salute. I took my crown to you. Your grace, your strength, your growth is admirable. Curtsy now. Well, I'm proud of the vision I see now. Betrayal can be so confusing, not knowing who to trust, who the hell fucked your life up, you or him, them or you. That's where we look in the mirror and take accountability of ourselves, never to make excuses for another, and know the power that healing has, that word forgiveness can turn it around. Healing beyond betrayal. Healing free. It's the road I walk alone. Learning to trust again. Learning to come back home. To myself, to my truth, to the love I deserve. Beyond betrayal. Finding the strength and the nerve. How do I heal from betrayal of the heart? I look in the mirror, that's where I start. Forgive myself first, then let the rest go. Healing beyond betrayal. That's how I grow. Healing beyond betrayal. I'm taking back my power. I forgive you. I forgive me. My finest hour. No more living in the pain. No more holding on to blame. Healing beyond betrayal. I'm reclaiming my name. Have you ever heard a song that reminds you of that one true love? You know, the song that gives you chills, a string of mixed emotions that have you seeing red. But in the same as that red seems anger, it's also burning love from there. Reminiscing on the good times in the first verse, but by the chorus you feel the burning from the hurt. How can one heal from the betrayal of the heart? Betrayal can be so confusing, not knowing who to trust, who to help fuck your life up, you or him, them or you. This way we look in the mirror and take accountability of ourselves, never to make excuses for another, but know the power that healing has, that word forgiveness can turn it around. Healing beyond betrayal. Oh, I'm taking back my power. I forgive you. I forgive me. This is my finest hour. No more living in the pain. No more holding on to blame. Beyond betrayal. And here comes another song that pulls through your soul, reminding you how you allowed yourself betrayal to lock you down for so long. By the end of the song, you found your inspiration to forgive your heart, forgive your mind, and your fucked up decision. But what you went through, that experience can never be taken away.
Okay.
You got me now. There's no need to flatter me.
Yes, I do. Well, baby, I'm trying to keep you.
So what's going on? You still a little tired from last night?
I mean, I know it's not what you're used to.
But all you're not. You're not gonna get by that's gonna stop me from making money in this company.
That's my girl.
What did she do for you? She want everybody mad. She took time from me.
Your girl is messing up.
Is everything all right, Miss Johnson?
Silence.
How you gonna come into my office and talk to me like that? Well, I don't care what happened. That bitch is going down.
Lisa, are you seeing somebody else?
You ain't never there for me.
Are you seeing somebody else?
Yeah, I am.
You got one damn phone call, and you better make it a good one.
Quiet. Quiet.
Because your ass can be replaced too.
You know why? It's wrong. Fix it. Make it right. See, Lisa, all I gotta do is love you and care for you.
Hell no.
Game you playing, I hope you don't get caught up in it.
Lisa gets proposals and rings, and I get to run around all day cleaning up her mess?
What you want, Liz?
You.
You do not love me.
What are some common barriers that prevent people from expressing?
Hey, it's your girl, goddess Nyomi Banks here from the Season of Self-Love podcast.
Yeah, I would say remorse. So shame and guilt is a very dividing emotional.
And these are one of the many amazing conversations that we have every day, Monday through Friday, right here on the Season of Self-Love podcast with myself, Nyomi Banks, as well as our resident therapist, Dr. Will Washington of Washington Wellness Institute. Come by.
The reality of our relationships with people.
Come by.
And a lot of times we're afraid of how people look at us. And so that compassion can't enter.
You can hit us on our
So that's a
website,
really
the
big
Season
barrier.
of Self-Love
Really big barrier.
podcast.com.
Let me ask you this, with the truth.
Washington Wellness Institute focuses on healing all ways. For me, if I look good, then I feel good. If I feel good, then I share the good. If I share the good, then I celebrate the good. If I celebrate the good, then I live the good. So I can be paid to be my greatest. But I have to learn the good to be the good.
So, what does it take to be the greatest? It's as simple as a free 15-minute consultation. Be kind to yourself and heal always.
And that's the disappointment when you fuck a guy for over an hour and he just go. Did anybody recognize you from film in the industry? They did? Okay. Okay. Well, I just filming. You gotta do what you gotta do. You are such an advocate. One thing is what I love is I love seeing a lot of the beautiful women that's in the industry as sex advocates.
And I would set up crystals on their body based off of their chakra. And the crystals, what they do is if they sit long enough, they begin to like permeate through the body. They begin to expand through the body and they create a grid.
I shot with John Q too. You know, John Q, you know, I'm the first big girl, but he did inside, you know, inside. Yeah. But I would, and I have given my last dime to people. I've given when I should have just watched. And it's not always about giving financially. It's giving your space and your time and your energy.
So that's kind of like a 50-50 answer, what I got. That wasn't really a yes or no answer.
I think I actually would, and this is of course the therapist in me, I would be asking them, like, tell me how this is celibacy for you.
So what's first here, ain't it?
I shoot them just like I would be shooting a regular human. So you don't put the emphasis on that. So it makes it more consistent with the title of being transgender.
I have a really good friend. She lives here in Atlanta. I met her on a porn set. She wrote a book called From Porn to the Pulpit. Now, I won't say she was like this super... Yeah, she's my best friend. She's my best friend. Her name is Danielle Williams McCord. She wrote an amazing book called From Porn to the Pulpit. She's been preaching for 10 years now, but I met her on a porn set.
In any business that you find yourself in. Because definitely for me, like, creating a product to push to the consumer, and for me, everything was consumer driven. If they didn't want it, I'm not gonna make it because I knew it.
Felt like if we kept our head a little below the sagebrush, that we would just be able to keep on going without any interference or anything like that. But that's
like, dude, I'm sitting in like the dressing room, like just with all the 20-year-olds and 22-year-olds, 25-year-olds. I'm like, how old are you? Oh, I'm 25. I'm like, how old are you? I'm 23. And I'm like, dude, I'm 30.
Before I leave the house, I feel like the last look. This is how I feel, this is what I'm thinking, now when I get out and interact with other people, it's going to be where it is.
Right, okay.
Welcome to a podcast like no other. Get ready for insightful conversations, diverse perspectives, and a touch of inspiration. This is Ask Nyomi, Bridging the Gap podcast. Join your host, the dynamic Nyomi Banks, as she delves into the heart of various topics with a refreshing blend of curiosity and wisdom. Each week, tune in as Nyomi is joined by special guests who bring their unique stories and expertise to the table. It's a journey of discovery, learning, and growth. And let's not forget about the one and only dog pound Mike, adding his flavor and flair to the mix. Together, they make a dynamic duo you won't want to miss. From thought-provoking discussions to moments of laughter and joy, Ask Nyomi. Bridging the Gap podcast offers a space where great topics meet amazing guests. So, mark your calendars, set your reminders, and prepare to be entertained and enlightened. Join Nyomi Banks and Dog Pound Mike weekly for an unforgettable podcast experience. Get ready to bridge the gap, expand your horizons, and immerse yourself in the world of Ask Nyomi. Subscribe now and stay tuned for a podcast journey like no other.
All right, my beautiful people. Hey, my sexy people. Well, welcome back to Ask Nyomi Bridging Gap podcast. This is where we talk about love, sex, relationship, culture differences, and so much more. We're bridging the gap between them all and teaching the world on sex, language, attitude, and spiritual uplifting. I am your girl, the goddess Nyomi Banks here. I'm here with Dog Pound Mike. Mike, what's going on?
What's happening?
All right, and I see BTG. I seen them in here early before we even came on. Hey, how y'all doing out there? Y'all ready for this conversation? All right, y'all. So y'all know tonight is a special night, and it's actually very much needed. But we got some new stuff that's going on tonight. We got some new toys, some new Twickets going on, right? So for the very first time, we got some polls that are going on. We're going to do some live polls. We're going to do some live polls tonight. I'm going in. So we're going to start in a minute. But tonight's show, as I said, is needed. Tonight is going to be one of those shows that I know that's going to touch somebody's soul. Because what started last week has turned into something so much bigger than I ever even realized. You see, last week we had talked about a long distance love in bedroom toys, right? And remember I read Tracy's letters and we had a great conversation. But what happened after the show? Baby, the universe started working. You see, one of our new viewers, a woman, let's call her Kay, Miss Kay. She was in the chats and she watched the whole show. And it was something about the way that we held space, something about the realness and something about the vulnerability, and it moved her. So she wrote me a letter. And y'all, when I read this letter, I felt her. I felt her pain. I felt the rawness. And you know why? It's because I've been there. That very place that she was at right now, that she's at right now, I've been there before. And so I felt her. So what I did was I turned her letter into this week Talk to Me Tuesday episode. It actually is episode 4, How Do I Get Over a Broken Heart? And when I dropped that episode, y'all, the response, people wrote in saying they cried. They said they felt it. They felt seen. They said they played it over and over again because they needed to hear it. But here's what really got me. It was the men. It was the men that were commenting up under the posts. Men saying things like, we go through this too. We hurt too. But nobody talks about us when we're heartbroken. And that right there, I'm like, But also Miss K, she wrote me again after listening to that episode. And when I tell you, y'all, her words, baby, her words were so moving. So tonight, we're continuing this conversation. We are going deeper. We are talking about how to heal a broken heart from both perspectives, both male and female. So, Mike, are you ready for this one?
I'm ready. It's deep. This is deep.
Because I know I need for you tonight, I need for you to be the male perspective. I need you to help me to hold space for them as well as for the women as well, because we are going to need this. And I want my chat. I want y'all to be very interactive today, So what I want y'all to do, chat, for me right now, I want y'all to drop me the broken heart in the chat if you ever had your heart broken. Let me see it. Let me see who's here tonight that has ever had their heart broken. This is the safest place that you can ever be, because there is no judgment. There is no judgment here at all. Thank you, baby. Thank you. This is where, right? Thank you. Thank you, Charmaine. Thank you. This is where it's going. This is where we at, and this is where we're going to be. So remember, pause for a second. So this is where I said that we're trying something new. And I am so happy for this, that we're doing this. And I want to give this too. I want to give this disclaimer too, because I want to let y'all know that I'm just not out here telling this young lady's business. So even when she had emailed me again, and I had told her, you don't understand how God and how the universe works. It really do. Last week was really our first time even seeing this young lady, in our chats and on our channel. Period. And she was very active in that. But not only that, but she had the courage to write me on Monday, not knowing. Now, I have already recorded my Monday show for the season of self-love. And she wrote me a letter. And it just intertwined just right in what I was talking about for the things that she needed to do for herself. For healing. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
For healing and getting past that space. So it just worked out so clear. When I tell you that you don't know how you can be a ripple, how you can be that pebble in a ripple in somebody's life to move spaces and places for other people, her letter alone open up a door for men to come in and be so much vulnerable, not only in my DMs and in emails, but also on comments up under posts. And I wrote her after she gave me, and I'm gonna read part of her emails, both. I'm not gonna give it to you all. I'm gonna give some of it to you. I am, but her conversations were real and they were raw. And we're going to hold space for her. But I want to thank her, because that takes so much courage and strength to do it, to be there, but also to looking for the healing. So, baby, you already there. You took one step forward, but not only did you take one step forward, but you allow yourself to be a vessel in it as well. So I want to thank you. And I see you. I want to thank you for allowing me to use you in this moment. All right? All right, so now I'm going to continue. So before I dive in, I need y'all to know that next week there will be no live show. There will be no live show. So we're in production for Call 2 episodes 3 and 4. So we'll be shooting next week. And so this will be our last show this week. And then we come back in 2 weeks, I believe it is. In 2 weeks, we'll be back up and running. But tonight, we're turning this up. And what I mean, we're turning this up because we got a new theme with the live polls. So pause me right here. I want you to go back to the polls. Because I want to make sure this is working for us right now. So this is the first live poll that we're going to do right now. Have you ever had your heart broken? All right. So I don't know if you see them in a poll in what's the name right now. It's up there right now, and we're doing a live. So y'all let me know if y'all see it. Go to the comments.com, right? I'm excited about it. Let me know if y'all see it. If y'all see it in there.
I see it over here on Instagram.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let me know if y'all see it. And vote on it. And so throughout the night, we're going to be posting different questions to do the polls, here and there. Great, beautiful. Yep. And we're going to come back and give you percentage and stuff like that. But, we here, it's something that I always say. And for us to truly be in a healthy relationship, we have to heal ourselves. We have to love ourselves with self-love. And it starts with healing. We cannot love someone else without loving ourselves first, right? Stop for me. Without loving ourselves first. And so this is where we have to do the work. But the good thing is that we are being a community in doing it. The one thing is that what I do is I work on myself so I can be a reflection to my community. So I can be a reflection to my community and say, wow, I want to heal too. Does that make sense? But if it doesn't, by the end of tonight and other nights, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. All right? Because these conversations right now that we having, they're going to be real. They're going to be vulnerable. And it might even be emotional. So if you're going through a breakup right now, if you're healing from betrayal, if you are trying to figure out how to love again, this episode is for you. So I want you to get comfortable. And if you have to, grab you some tissue. All right. So let's do this. You ready, Mike?
Let's do it.
Y'all ready, G crew over here? Y'all ready? I see y'all all over the place. All right. So let me read y'all Miss K's letter. All right. So this is the letter that truly started it all. This is the one that became the Talk to Me Tuesday, episode 4. So Miss K, I know you watching. I want to thank you again for trusting me with your heart. Truly, thank you for trusting me with your heart. And you're trusting me with your words. I'm not going to say all of your words, but I'm going to say some of them, all right? She said, hello, Miss Nyomi. My name is Miss K. I'm 42. She's from Florida. And she said, the other night I turned into your show about long distance love bedroom toys when he intimidated. I was the one that was doing all the talking and commenting in the chat, giving my input. She said, anyway, but girl, I love your channel, especially that piece you did about what you learned from all your exes. Girl, that really hit home. Anyway, Miss Nyomi, my reason for writing is I wanted to ask your advice. I'm going through a painful breakup with my ex, and I broke up about a year ago, but it feels like it happened yesterday. And I'm trying to get over the hurt and pain in order to move on, but the sore is still open and fresh. I want that hurt and pain to go away. I want to get over a broken heart. How do I get over it? I still believe in love, and I do want to find love again. I do want to give love another chance again, and I want to date again. So what should I do? What should I do, Miss Nyomi? Any input will be greatly appreciated. Thank you. Y'all, when I read this, my heart, the one part it says, it feels like it happened yesterday. Stop right there. It feels like it happened yesterday. And I'm gonna be very, I've had a heartbreak before. I had 2 heartbreaks before. And when I read that letter, it took me back to that heartbreak probably over 24 years ago. And I remembered that heartbreak. Just when she said that, I remembered that heartbreak. And then she said, it feels like it happened yesterday. So I know what that feels like. And people don't give you, no one gives you that roadmap on how to heal from it. You have people that surround you every day that want to help you heal from it. And they'll say, girl, if it was meant to be, it would be. Y'all remember that? Y'all remember that? If it was meant to be, it will be. Girl, don't let them see you cry. Oh boy, don't you dare cry over that girl. Y'all remember that? But also remember, she said that sore is still open and fresh. I knew what that felt like. I want that hurt and pain to go away. How many of us have been right here? How many of us have been right here 1 year later and still feel like it was yesterday? I know she wasn't the only one. I know because I've been there. I'm not even going to lie. I am not going to lie. Because here's the thing about heartbreak. Time doesn't automatically heal. You got to do something. You got to do something with that time. You got to actually work through it. But what really got me about Miss K letter is this part. She said, I still believe in love. And I do want to find love again. I do want to give love another chance again and date again. So what should I do, Miss Nyomi? That right there, that's courage. That's hope. That's somebody saying, I'm hurt, but I'm not giving up. I am hurt, but I'm not giving up. Mike, I got a question for you. What do you hear when you hear that letter?
We're right there from that letter, from the way you read it, and when I see it, it's like you hear the hurt, you hear the heartbreak, you hear someone that wants to find love again, but sometimes that heartbreak is so bad, so strong that you don't want to take it into the next step, into the next thing you're trying to find, into the next love, because it can always come up again.
Yeah.
It can always come up again.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we're addressing tonight. Because a year later and still feeling that pain, I'm going to tell you this, Miss K, and whoever else is listening, you are not crazy. You're human. You are human. But what we got to do is we got to help you to move through it. We got to help you to heal from that. Now, let me read what Miss K wrote after she listened to Talk to Me Tuesday episode. And I'm going to paraphrase some of it. I'm not going to give you all of what she said in that letter, but I'm going to give you some bits and pieces of what she said, all right? So after the Talk to Me Tuesday episode dropped, Miss K has sent me this letter. And y'all, this is what it was confirmation to know, once again, is why I do what I do. And she said, Miss Nyomi, I just got through listening to your podcast, my episode. Yes, that was your episode, baby. And I have to say, I find this to be so encouraging and so inspirational. I broke into tears and I started crying. She said, I'm not going to lie. And she said, I won't lie. I was checking I was checking my ex on social media several times a day, 7 days a week, every day. She said, I saw mean and hurtful things that they said about me on social media, calling me dumbass, like my love and my time that I invested into making that relationship work didn't matter to them. And then I saw them move on like it wasn't nothing. That was what kept me stuck. And then she said, what really hurt Miss Nyomi is this person showed me they self as trustworthy and broke down my walls and earned my trust and my love. Now I want you to pause one moment right there, because I even hear in Dog Pound Mike in your voice, in your breeze, like, damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I want y'all to let that sink in for a minute. But yeah, you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. You know, in relationships, you build up that trust, you build up that togetherness, and at the end of it, when the other person moves on and makes you feel like, I'm just be honest, like you was nothing, that just adds on to the heartbreak. That just adds on to you moving on and almost doing anything you left, not alone another relationship, but it hurts you like you even can't move on to do anything.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. And again, I want to say this again. You know, I thank you again, Miss K, for sharing this, because a lot of people can't be this honest and this vulnerable in sharing how they feel and their emotions. A lot of people keep it balled up and continue to go through this cycle of hurt and trauma that carries on into other relationships.
Right.
It carries on into other relationships, you know. And so when we find a way to, we have to find a way to heal from it. And I talked about it on Tuesday's show on different tools on how to get through it. And we're going to talk about it today. We're going to talk about it today. It's because Ms. K is not the only one that goes through this. You know what I'm saying? Everybody goes through this. Everybody has been through this. You know, everyone has been through this. So I can only imagine what that feels like. And sometimes when you are watching that, you know, back in the day, I'm a little bit older than probably a lot of you are. And so, you know, my heart break up 20 years ago, pause for me, 20 years ago in that love space. I didn't get to see it play out. You know what I'm saying? Or see that, because we didn't have social media like that. But I also want to tell you that heartbreak, it comes in different forms. It doesn't just come in a relationship with lover relationship. It could come in a relationship of family. It could come in a relationship of friends. That you understand what I'm saying? And that's something that I've had breakups and heartbreaks up in that longevity that I had to heal from as well. You know what I'm saying? Right. But my question is right now is that we have to come from a space to be out of that stuck space. So it's like, how many of us have been stuck because of someone we love chose to be cruel to us after the breakup? How many of us have had an ex go out of their way to hurt us again after again already? Just a pat on. But what I love about Miss K, and I'm gonna have to keep saying this, because I'm gonna give you your flowers, baby girl, is that you using your story not only to heal yourself, but it actually have given me a reason to talk about something that we don't talk about, especially when it comes to both men and women. Because you think that only one side hurts. You know what I mean? You know, so we have to make it a way to where we are working together to heal, at least in this space. You know? at least in this space. We have to be authentic. We have to be genuine in when we're doing these conversations. When we having these conversations, you keep rolling. Because again, this is a no judgment zone. This is a safe zone. This is a no judgment zone. This is a safe zone. And I just want to thank you again. That's all I want to thank again. All right, so this is where we're going to go with this. It's because it's something that I talked about on Tuesday, and I talked about entering into a space when you have put up your boundaries and you broke from a relationship and you moved on. Sometimes you are in this middle ground or there's an empty space that's there. And sometimes you have to accept the fact that that individual is gone now. And you got to start painting that new room to do that inner work on yourself before you bring a new person into that equation. A lot of times we want to move on to get over somebody else. And that's fine. Well, no, it's not fine. Hold on for a second. That's not fine. Let's heal ourselves first and then go on to that next one. We all had to learn the hard way. But I knew 20 years ago, over 20 years ago, I knew that was my last time going into another toxic relationship. That was the time that I sat down and I got real with myself and I started to write the book, my book, the book on how to love me in my realness. And in that next person, I gave that book to. And that book was the realness of me. And I am still with that person to this day. Period. Period. But I had to heal first. I had to heal first before I got there. And it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. Because the thing is that we all deserve to be in a great relationship. We all deserve to give someone a healed version of ourselves and also to be with somebody in their healed version. Did y'all get that? To be there, get somebody in a healed version. That's my brain fog working. But did y'all get that? You know? And it's one thing that she said that really touched me, that really just made me like, wow. She said, you never know what a person is going through on the inside. She said, because there was sadness behind my smile. She said, there was sadness behind my smile. Now, I don't know what this beautiful woman looked like. I can only imagine what she looks like. But now that smile can not only come from here, your mouth, but now that smile could come from behind your eyes. And I hope you understand what I mean by that. So I hope you also understand that whatever that you've been through in your relationship, that's anybody else that's listening. That anything that you've been through in your past, in your relationship, it does not define you. You do not let the person be someone else's headache. You understand what I'm saying? But then also at the end of it, she gave me some encouraging words, which I love. Not only did she get, but she gave too. And she gave me some encouraging words. And she told me to keep going, Miss Nyomi. Continue to let your light shine no matter what, because you don't know who's watching and who life you're going to touch with your very encouraging, insightful words of wisdom. I saw you. And I'm going to say this again because I have to give you your flowers, beautiful girl. Even in where you think is your lowest moment, you have given one of the most powerful things. So again, I thank you. I thank you. Because you never know what the person is giving through on the inside when there's sadness behind the smile, all right? Because know that the next person deserves to be with that healed person, that healed version of who you are. That's what it's all about. It's all about seeing each other. It's about holding each other. It's about healing together. So chat, this is what I want y'all to type right now. I want y'all to type sadness behind my smile. If you ever felt this, if you ever felt like you were faking, and pause for a second. And I don't want to say like faking, like fake, but yeah, yes, I do. I do want to say like faking, because remember when we talked about that mask? Remember was it a few months ago when we talk about that mask, or was I on the season of self-love? But when we talk about that mask and removing that mask, this is a time that we have to remove the mask. This is the time that we have to remove the mask so we can see one another, so we can see those reflections. So we can see those reflections, because we are a reflection of one another, whether good or bad. So it's up to you to figure out what reflection you're going to show to someone else. So I'm looking at all of y'all. I see y'all over there. I see y'all over there, and I thank you. I thank you all for being active in these chats. All right, y'all. So let's break this down. Let's talk about how to actually heal a broken heart. All right. But first, we got to address something important. I want to talk about from the male perspective of it all, and I want to go ahead and impose this excuse me, this poll for the men. How do you typically handle the heartbreak? How do you typically handle the heartbreak? Show it. All right. Do you, well, y'all can read it over there. Because I can't see it. Right.
I can read it.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Thank you so much.
Have you ever had your heart broken? This is for the men. And one option, yes, and I'm still healing. 2 is yes, but I've moved on. 3 is yes, multiple times. And number 4 is no, not yet.
All right. But then I need you to scroll down to the one that I need you to put up there. That one right there.
Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And this one is, and how do men typically handle heartbreak?
Yep, that's the one.
And one is talk about it with your friends and family. Keep it to myself.
Mm-hmm.
Stay busy and work through it, or other coping methods.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. So before we get into the healing steps, I need to address something that came up in the comments. And after the Talk to Me Tuesday episode dropped, and like I told you, I had multiple men reach out saying, thank you for this. I mean, we go through this a lot, but nobody talks about men when we had heartbroken. It was one comment that really stuck with me. And he said that men are silent sufferers. He said, we are programmed not to show emotion. And as a result, we have more problems to overcome a broken relationship. So Mike, talk to me. Why do you think men heartbreaks get ignored?
Okay, yeah, give me a second to take a deep breath.
Okay.
I mean, it's one thing that's even in this is men are silent sufferers. Yes, men are.
Mm-hmm.
Because we have been imposed on, we have been trained, we have been in the society to be strong.
Right.
Take care of our family and take care of ourselves, and just this persona of being strong men that I guess even with some answers in there, one answer is we suffer in silence.
Yeah.
We do. We stay silent about it. A lot of men don't go to work and talk about it with their coworkers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they'll go to work and their heart could be broken and They talking about the game last night. They talking about other things.
Right.
And we just tend to keep it to ourselves. And another one on this poll is other coping methods. Now that's the scary one.
Right.
That's the real scary one, because that coping method could be positive. It could be very negative. I mean,
right.
That could be drugs. That could be drinking. That could be abuse. That could be a lot of things that come out of that for men.
Right.
So I think the most thing is silent sufferers. Just we keep it to ourselves and we deal with it and we go to work and we work through it and we don't talk to nobody. A lot of men don't want to go to counseling, don't want to go to, things that really help them heal, because for the most part, we feel we got it.
Right.
We got it,
Right. Right. Yeah. Thank you, Dog Pound Mike, for for sharing that with me. And again, I see the comments in for the BTG crew, over here, because that is very important for us to be talked about. And and that's real, because society does tells men that excuse me, that society does tell men to be strong. Tell men to be strong, to don't cry. It tells men to man up. It tells them all of that. Get over it. All of those good things. Go find another one. That's one of the biggest things that's been told to them. Go find another one. Go find another one. But it's like, do you really want them to go find another one before they heal? Let's be honest. Because it is okay to hurt. It's okay to grieve. It's okay to feel. So now it's like, so what happens? Men suppress it, right? Men internalize it, right? Men numb with work, with gym, as you said, Dog Pound Mike, with other women, with alcohol, with anything that they can avoid the feeling. And then that unhealed pain shows up in the next relationship. And what that does is bring a lot of unhealed situations out that just shows up, right?
Yeah. Yep.
It shows up as walls. It shows up as a fear of commitment. It shows up as emotional unavailability. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So as you said, how do men typically handle heartbreak? Like you said, what do y'all do when you're hurting? What do you do when you're hurting?
Something, and a lot of men keep it in, even when you're hurting, and that's probably why it causes other hurting within your body, And being a black man, we talk about diabetes, we talk about high blood pressure, we talk about a lot of stress that comes on like that. It could be just for that fact that you are holding in, you are being strong, you are not healing everything, and it hits your body in other ways.
Yeah,
it hits your body in other ways. Whether you go to drinking or you go to some drugs, but it can all be stimulated from that heartbreak.
Yeah,
Yeah. And one more thing, just something that I've been thinking about is getting your heart broke, being heartbroken, it goes in different ways, because I truly feel that sometimes you can be heartbroken even when you was the one breaking the other person's heart.
Interesting.
I mean, if you was in a relationship and you caused a heartbreak, you wasn't faithful, you wasn't honest, in all time for men, that don't mean you didn't love a person, but you caused their heartbreak, which sometime after it's over with and you sit back and realize what you did and realize the person you lost, and this is for Miss K, the person you lost that did all that stuff, even though his heart could be broken too, because it sounds like he lost a great woman, and sometimes a lot of men move to the other side, think the grass is greener, and they get to the other side and it ain't as good. And this still can cause heartbroken them, and that can go to some very, very bad things too. Because like I say, some men don't even want to realize that their heart is broke. Let's go back to that being strong, cope with it, get over it. Oh, I'm all right. As man, I'm all right. It's good. No matter how it happened, and they move on.
Right, but that's how they end up causing the heartbreak.
Yes,
you understand what I'm saying?
And they may go to another relationship and cause a whole nother heartbreak without even knowing.
So that's what we need to talk about now, is about really just truly healing, because no one needs to be dealing with that.
You're right.
All right, men in the chat, how do you handle heartbreak? I see y'all over there. Do you talk about it? Do you suppress it? What do you do? Drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat. And yes, Charmaine, yes, hurt people. You are so right. You are so right. Again, I want to thank you all for just being active in the chats today. I really, really do. Drop out my mic. Do me a favor. Go back to the polls right now. And could you take those polls down for me? Yep. Take those polls down for me. All right. And this is so important, y'all, because if we're going to bridge the gap, we got to hold space for everybody's pain. All right. Now, let's get into healing. Y'all ready to get into healing? So we're going to talk about how to heal a broken heart. And the framework is like this. So based on everything that I said in Talk to Me Tuesday episode, and based on my own journey, based on the many people that I've coached through heartbreak, here's the framework for healing a broken heart. And Mike, I want you to tell me this if it resonates with a male perspective too when I read this, all right? So there are 5 steps. And we're going to go through each one of them. We are going to go through. All right, so this is what we're going to do real quick. Before we go through these 5, we're going to take a quick break, all right? It's your girl, the goddess, Nyomi Banks, here on Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast. And we will be right back. What are some common barriers that prevent people from expressing? Hey, it's your girl, the goddess, Nyomi Banks, here from the Season of Self-Love podcast.
Yeah, I would say remorse. So shame and guilt is a very dividing emotional.
And these are one of the many amazing conversations that we have every day, Monday through Friday, right here on the Season of Self-Love podcast with myself, Nyomi Banks, as well as our resident therapist, Dr. Will Washington of Washington Wellness Institute. Come by.
The reality of our relationships with people.
Come by.
And a lot of times we're afraid of how people look at us. And so that compassion can't enter.
You can hit us on our
So that's a
website,
really
the
big
Season of Self-Love podcast.com.
Let me ask you this: with the truth, is it?
All right, well, welcome back to Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast. It's your girl, the goddess, Nyomi Banks, here with Dog Pound Mike. What's going on?
It's all good, all good.
All right, we are here with BTG crew. Hey, I see y'all in the chats, and y'all are truly having a great conversation. All right, so before we get into the topic, and our topic tonight is how do I heal from from heartbreak? And I'm about to give you 5 steps of healing, but before we do that, and I hope Dog Pound Mike might have been, giving count of it, because the thing is, and I hope that I'm saying this right, we got these socks right here, and we're still doing giveaways. We already gave away, we gave away some last week, this week, and we got our box. We got our box full, so we'll be shipping them out next week.
Yep.
We'll be shipping them out next week. A pair of socks. These socks are pink socks. They call it Pink Sock Lifestyle. We had an amazing guest 2 weeks ago, Mr. Atkins. Mr. Atkins came by, and it's all about spreading love. And so we'll give you a pair of these, and it definitely will explain this a little bit later. Hopefully I can remember it from the top of my dome. Well, we can explain it later. But you become active in here. There's giveaways that we got. We already got 2 that won. We got Miss Charmaine and Miss Cassandra. Miss Cassandra, yes. So, gentlemen, make sure. I see a lot of gentlemen in the chats today that's being very active. All right. So let's get back into the topic of hand. Is today we're talking about how do I heal from a heartbreak? How do I heal from a heartbreak? And before the break, I'm giving the 5 steps to healing And this is something that I've not only used myself, but also I've used with a lot of my clients to help them to get through a lot of their heartbreaks. All right. So we're going to start with the first one. Step one is to feel it. Feel it, all of it. You cannot heal what you don't feel. You cannot process what you suppress. So that means if you got to cry, you got to scream, you got to journal, you got to pray, you got to rage, you got to grieve. I want you to give yourself permission to be heartbroken, because you are, and that's okay. That's not a weakness. This is human. And so, and when I say this, pause for me for a second. When I say this, I want you to be in this. And I know when I say it, for real, be responsible when you do this. When I say do, scream, cry, pray, rage, I don't mean going out there and doing no stupid stuff on somebody else. That's not what I mean. That's not what I mean. Be responsible when you do this. When I mean be responsible, you go to your space, in your place, in your home, and you have that moment with yourself. You have that moment with yourself. Mike, my question for you, do men give themselves permission to feel?
That's a good one. Most of the time, no. Most of the time, no. And I just even heard what you said, that go to that space in your heart, go to that place. Some men ain't got places to go. Some men don't have places to go. And sometimes they get in their car, and that scream and that rage may come out a bad way. That may come out with somebody cut them off and they taking out things on other people that even is not for them. We don't supposed to cry. A lot of men do pray, but even in prayer, sometimes they're praying for other people. I mean, another question, probably for another show: Do men pray for themselves? Do they pray for their family and their, parents and their kids and things like that? So, yeah, a lot of men they don't. They suppress.
Yeah. But I see somebody said about music, which is a great outlet, but also, using artistry, paint, drawing, writing, rap. One of my favorite cousins, he uses rap to get out his anger. Whatever it is to get it out versus then hurting someone. Even if you're writing a letter to yourself, that's something that I do. I even tell my daughters that. I've had my daughters writing in their journals ever since they were 8 or 9 years old. Whatever feelings that they have, especially when they pissed off at me, write it in a journal. Write it in a journal. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I used to find their journals, but write it in a journal. On your feelings and your emotion, because you need to be able to get that out. Get that out sometimes. My car, you spoke about car. Man, my car still to this day has been part of my sanctuary. It's been, part of where I'm able to get some of my biggest ideas, and where I'm able to truly be able to speak to God right there in my car. So wherever it is that you can find your safe space, that's where it is. That's safe for you. That's safe for you and healthy. That's where you can do it right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah. There he go again, boy. Boy, I love it. Thank you, Mark. I see you, Mark, and I want to thank you because you were the one that got it. Yeah. And the one thing is that I want to make sure that you all get this, especially the men, because women, we express ourselves. We express ourselves a lot more than men do. We do. And the problem with men is because they want to skip over their feelings, and they want to skip over the healing, and you can't. You can't think your way out of heartbreak. You cannot logic your way out of it. You cannot logic your way through it. You can't say you busy, you're way past it. You gotta feel it. And feeling looks like crying when you need to cry. Talking to someone who you trust that's not going to use it against you. Writing it out in a journal. Your words don't have to be perfect. Screaming in your car. Sitting with the pain instead of running from it. Don't do that. Because what it does, it can create stress and create other things, as Mike was saying. Because here's the truth, the only way out is through. So chat right now, I want you to type feel it for me. Feel it if you giving yourself permission to feel your heart break instead of suppressing it. Type feel it. Yes, thank you. Thank you. I see it. Thank you. Yes, I see it. Yes, I see it. Thank you. Thank you. I see it. Thank you. Thank you. And you know what? Pause for a moment. And let me say this because I have to say this because not only are we on live right now, but also we do a restream or however a upload. And so if you are listening right now on a replay and you're wondering, just being here live is so good. I love that you listening to me on a replay, but being here live and the energy in these rooms and these spaces is so wonderful. It really is. It's so wonderful just to be here in these spaces with it. All right, so I see all of y'all. All right, let's go to step 2. And this one is big. This one is big. Leave the empty room and claim your space. All right, so for step 2, this is one that is so important because this is something that I'm actually doing a whole series right now. Right now, this concept right now on the Season of Self-Love podcast. And it's leave the empty room and to claim your space. You see, last month in March, it was all about reclaiming your boundaries. But when you reclaim your boundaries, you always just stand there. You don't know what to do with them afterwards. So here's what happened when someone leaves your life. When someone leaves your life, when they leave an empty room, all right, not just physically, emotionally, energetically, and spiritually. When that relationship ends, there's suddenly all this space. There's now space in your schedule. There's now space in your bed. There's now space in your mind. And now there's space in your heart. And you have 2 choices. Option 1, you can keep going back to that empty room and keep staring at the walls. You can keep replaying the memories, keep wishing that they come back, and keep trying to what? Recreate what was. Or option 2, you can accept that room is empty, close the door, and start rebuilding a new room. You cannot move forward while you still living in the past. Now, here's where this gets deeper. And this is what we talk about, what we're talking about right now on the Season of Self-Love. You see, we're in April, and April is all about unashamed growth. Specifically, week 1. It's about unashamed space. That means taking up room to grow. Because here's what I've learned. Boundaries, when you set boundaries, it creates space. But what you have to do, you actually have to claim that space that you have now taken back. See, when you set a boundary, when you say, I'm not texting you anymore, when you unfollow them, when you delete their number, when you stop going to the places that they go, you're creating space. But that space can feel scary because that space can be empty. It feels empty. And what is your first instinct to do? It's to fill it. And fill it to what? With something familiar. Even if that familiar is what? If it's pain. So you go back to that empty room. You scroll their Instagram. You drive by their house. You replay that last conversation. You text them just checking in. Because that empty rooms feel safer than the unknown. But baby, you can't grow in an empty room. You got to leave that empty room. And you got to claim the space that your boundaries created. All right, I got a question for you. Have you ever seen someone, man or woman, who just cannot let go? That they keep going back to that empty room?
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Because even though that room is empty, that room is so familiar to them. You know, that room, most people sit back in that room, even though it's empty, and all they can think about is what that room was.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and a lot of people been heartbroken. They try to just think about the good times.
Mm-hmm.
Because every relationship had some good times.
Mm-hmm.
You know, things went bad, but they had good times, and they think about the good times.
Mm-hmm.
And they try to, like you said, they try to recreate them. They try to build new things with them, but they in that same empty room.
Yeah.
And those walls hold so many feelings in that room. So,
yeah.
But yes, it is hard for people to leave.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and just even watching that, and just even remembering, just in what I said when I read Ms. K's first email, it took me back. It took me back over 20 years to that heartbreak that I had, and I remember for the first few years is going through that empty room that I had, and I didn't know what it. I was just filling it with all kind of bull crap, because it was just familiar.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And not understanding what it was, and I was stuck. And it's so heartbreaking to watch right now. To watch somebody because they are stuck. They're not feeling. They're just existing in that pain. So here's what leaving the empty room looks like practically. What you're leaving behind. You're deleting their numbers, or at least removing it from your favorites. We're gonna be real. We're gonna take it a little bit step, okay? We ain't gonna go from 0 to 100 right away. If you ain't got the strength to go from 0, let's do a little bit. You're gonna unfollow them on social media, or muting them. You're gonna remove their photos from your phone, or moving them to the hidden folder. Boxing up the gifts and putting them away, or better yet, donating them. Changing your routines if they trigger memories. Stopping the what if conversations in your head. That's the one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the one. That's the one where you start creating.
Yep.
You start creating a whole series of what that conversation would have been if you would have said this, and then if he would have said that before you knew it. You got a whole soul problem in your head on this one situation. Then you believe in it. But I want to tell you this, you're not erasing the person. You're not pretending that it didn't happen. You're just creating a space to heal. But here's the part where people skip. You can't just leave that empty room. You have to fill that space. And on this week's Action Wednesday episode from yesterday on the Season of Self-Love, we did an exercise called Mapping Your Space. And it's all about, I'm about to walk y'all through it right now because it's perfect for heartbreak, right? So in the chat, if you got your phones, if you got some notes, but I put it up there and I said, make sure y'all have y'all journals or whatever. Or if you got a journal, I want y'all to grab it. We about to do some work right now. We about to do some work right now. Mike, you ready?
Yeah, we work.
Yeah, we got to work through it. We got to work this. Somebody said, can somebody peep the first step? I love it. The first step is to feel it, baby, is to feel it. All right, so here's the 3-part exercise that I had, and I want you to actually do it. not just listening, do it. All right. Exercise 1 is I want you to name your space. This is the first question that I want you to put down. What space did this relationship ending create? I want you to write this down. What opened up when you set the boundary of it's over in that relationship? So I'm going to give you some examples. Maybe it's time. Your evenings are suddenly free. Your weekends are open. Maybe it's energy. You're not constantly worrying or fighting or explaining or defending. Maybe it's an emotional bandwidth that you got back. You're not drained by their drama, their needs, their chaos. Maybe it's physical space, your bed, your home, your car, your favorite spots. Or maybe it's mental clarity. Your mind isn't consumed by them anymore. So chat, what I want you to do is I want you to drop in the chat right now. What space did your breakup create? Did it create time, energy, mental space, or physical space? Y'all could take a minute and think about it. What opened up for you? What opened up for you?
That's a deep.
Yeah.
I mean, people out there thinking about it, that you got to think.
Yeah.
Times. Don't say times. I mean, say time.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, and let me say this again. I know in the beginning, time, a lot of people say time. You know, I want to say this again because heartbreak is more than just a lover, a boyfriend, a husband, a wife. It can be friends. It can be, you know, a sister, a brother, a mother, a father, or a daughter, a child. It can be any relationship that you have that you are no longer connected to. Can be broken. You know what I'm saying? A heartbreak.
Right.
You know, so you think about when you put up those boundaries and you're no longer connected with that person, what now is in that empty space? What's now there? What are you going to claim it as? What now have you gotten back from it? Or what are you going to reclaim back from that? You know, and this is where you have to be honest with yourself. This is where that mask is off. And you say, okay, I want to be better. I want to be better for myself. So then I can start attracting, you know, better for myself. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Makes a lot of sense.
Good. And thank you. I see y'all being honest. I see y'all. I see y'all being honest. I see the energy. I see the peace. I see the time. I see time all in there.
Yeah, time is all in there. Because time is one thing you can't get back.
You cannot. Yes. 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 But you know what? Let me say this too. Let me say this too. Is one of my favorite people that I talk to a lot, Dr. Will. He's one of my favorite people. And I say to him about when we talk about, you know, when going through things and going, you know, with time. And let's speak about time. And then I'm just gonna go from my heartbreak back 20 years ago. That heartbreak taught me so much. It probably was the most valuable lesson that I could ever have, which probably made me a better lover, a better person in my relationship now. And so, which might sound crazy to you all, but I needed that because it made me look at myself and redirect me in what I needed to heal. Because it wasn't like it was just on them. It was all some stuff that I brought up in there. Does that make sense?
It does.
You understand what I'm saying? And so in that time that, you know, that I got back, I'm gonna make it work. You understand what I'm saying? What did I learn from that time that I was with that person that's gonna make this time really mean some shit? Excuse my language. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Exercise 2 is name what you're afraid to fill it with. Name it what you are afraid to fill it with. Now, this is a hard one This is a hard one. This is a hard one. What are you afraid to fill that space with? Because the truth is, we're afraid to claim that space. You know why? Because we are afraid to expand. Because we think, what if I fill it with me and I realize I don't know who I am without them? Or what if I fill it with my dreams and I fail? What if I fill it with healing and it's too hard? What if I fill it with joy and people think I didn't really love them? What if? So we leave it empty. Or we fill it with distractions, or we go back to the ex. I know shit, excuse me, I did it. I did it 3 times with that one ex. 3 times in 10 years. Went back, pause for a second. Back. Thought it was going to get better. And no, it wasn't. And it wasn't just on them. It was on me too. Because of some of these things I was afraid of. Right. So you have to be honest. What are you afraid to fill that space with? So chat, if you feel comfortable, drop in the chat. What are you afraid to fill your space with? You got a whole room.
This chat that they in here tonight because DJ Miller said the unknown. Afraid to fill it with the unknown.
That was mine.
Yeah.
That was mine.
Yep. Charmaine as well. Fear of the unknown. And Dre 19, great. He said, I'm afraid to fill that void with myself.
We're going to talk about that.
Yeah. And Rush State Civilization said, I'm afraid to fill that void with bitterness.
Is that bitterness or betterness?
Betterness.
A betterness.
Betterness. Oh. And I guess even in that feeling too, with betterness is if you've heart been broken and now you feeling it with betterness, that leaves it in you to think so much about that past relationship. How long did you stay in that relationship, which now you're in a new one doing better, which like, wow, I wish I was doing this all along.
That's where you have to appreciate the lessons that were learned. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because for you to go through that, to get to that point.
Right.
You understand? Right. To get to that perspective, because you've learned that. You learned that by going through it. You learned that by going through it. And you've healed from it because you've now done the work. Does that make sense?
Yes. And for a man, it really makes sense because sometimes you may move on themselves, but have you really healed? Have you really taken the time to heal and grow and get past that hurt? Because like we talked about before, men brush it off.
Yeah.
They sit in silence.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I want to thank the chats because you guys are really showing up. Yeah. Really showing. And I thank you. I thank you all for just being comfortable with sharing publicly right here. And if you're looking, we see a lot of eyes out there right now. A lot of eyes right now. And if you're not comfortable sharing publicly, write it down for yourself. Write it down for yourself. Write it down for yourself, and you will have it. You will have it. Look, when I say this, pause for me for a second. When I say this, a lot of my clients are men. And what I love about this is that when I became a life coach, sex and relationship coach, I really thought that it would be more women and couples, if anything. I didn't know that there would be so many men that were comfortable with opening up. You understand what I'm saying? And I love that they trust me with that. They trust me with that, maybe because maybe with the career and field that I am, that they know that I'm not going to judge them. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
And so they're able to share that space with me because I've shared my most vulnerable asset with them on this screen. So there's like, okay, she's not going to judge me because she's been in that very space. So I can be real raw with them. But also in that sense, it's been hard for them to trust to do the work. Does that make sense? It's been hard for them to like, really, do that really work? Yes, it does. It does work. And I remember what it was like. Maybe 2 or 3 of them came in like, I don't know if that meditation is going to work. I don't know if that journaling is going to work. I don't know if this. And by six week, even the 3rd week, they was like, oh my God, that worked. Yes, it does. And you don't have to share it and tell it to your friends or anybody like that. Sometimes they need an outlet to talk to. Sometimes they need an outlet to talk to. And I like that. I saw somebody said the fear of the betterness. And let me tell you why that feel of betterness too, because, and I remember I had this as well. Because when you have this fear and you're getting better with yourself, when you start to do that, everything around you start to be revealed. And in that process, when the things around you are revealed to you, you feel alone. You feel alone because you are no longer aligned with the circle or the people around you. And so now it's up to you to say, wow, it's time for me to move on, to move forward. What does that look like for me? Yeah. That's something else. That's where we got to go with something else. See, now y'all going, y'all need to come over there to the season of self-love over there.
Come over to the master class.
Yeah, but I love this. I want to thank y'all for just being honest. Mm-hmm. I love this. I truly do. I love this. I love y'all being vulnerable. I love this. I see y'all. I see y'all. Let me tell you something. Y'all don't understand what I see right here. Y'all don't understand what I see right here. Right here, I see part of my dreams becoming a reality. You guys are making part of my dreams come a reality. When I was a little bit girl, I always say I wanted to change the world, whatever way possible that was. When I got into the adult industry, I was told that I probably wouldn't be able to do nothing but that what I was doing and nothing else, that I had ruined my life. No, I wasn't taking that. I wasn't taking that. And right now, watching these numbers, watching these response, the conversations that we have on here versus on here and the season of self-love, we talk about more than just sex. We talk about more than just relationships. We talk about healing. Because that's the only way that we can have healthy relationships. That's the only way that we can have good sex. You understand? That's the only way, is for us to be honest. So we can be real. This is the only way that we can become unstuck, right?
You're right.
So I thank you all. I thank you. Man. Let me go on to exercise 3 before I go get me some tissue. And I want y'all to choose one bold action this week. And then next month, not next month, but this week, when you feel ready this week, with one bold action, you can claim your space, and it has to be visible. And let me tell you how. It has to be real. It can just, and I'm gonna give you an example. If your space is time, so remember we get the timer. If your space is time, I want you to sign up for a class, that class that you've been wanting to take, whatever that class is, or book a trip. Book a trip, whatever that trip that you want, or start a project that you said you was gonna do. If your space is energy, I want you to start therapy, join a support group, begin journaling every morning. If your space is physical, redecorate your bedroom or your backyard, buy yourself flowers or whatever, create a new routine. If your space is emotional, write a letter to yourself about who you're becoming. Set a new boundary with someone else who's draining you. Chat, this is what I want you to do right now. Tell me, what is your bold action for this week? What is your bold action for this week? What is one thing that you can do to claim your space? You don't have to think hard. What's the first thing that came in your mind? What's the first thing that came in your mind? What's the first thing that came in your mind? Y'all don't be thinking, it ain't no right or wrong answer. I promise you there's no right or wrong answer. There's no right or wrong answer.
Not at all.
They thinking. They thinking.
You know, and I guess you have to think that's, you know, that's a big step for people coming out of our place.
You know what?
No longer a side dude.
Oh, wow.
Right. And we hear Russ say, loving myself more and more each day.
That's right. That's right. Loving myself more and more each day.
And that's a big thing, you know?
That's a big thing. Yes, that is, Dre. That's an action, baby. You no longer the side dude. Just tell your baby that.
Right.
Yes. You not sad material. Tell them you main. Tell you the main event.
You number one, Dre.
Yes, that is an action. That is an action.
Start a new business.
Yes, Cassandra, start that new business. That's what I'm talking about. I love it. For real, Mark. Yes, that's good. You know, it's all about being bold. So when you've been shrinking yourself just to fit into someone else's life, taking up space is bold. So when you've been quiet about your needs, using your voice is being bold. Now, here's the accountability piece of it all. And this is very critical, y'all. I want you to share your bold action with someone. You could either DM me on Instagram and tell me, this week I am claiming my space by whatever you claiming your space by. Don't be in there acting mannish or nasty. You better not, or I'm going to block you. Or text someone that you trust right now and say, I'm doing this, and hold me accountable. So I want y'all to comment in the chat right now so the BTG community can witness it. I want y'all to do it now before you talk yourself out of it. Mike, what's your bold action you taking?
Well, my bold action, you know, something I wasn't even thinking about, but I guess is to really do something for myself.
Nice.
You know, take some time just for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
I love that. I do. Chad, I see y'all. I love the bold actions that y'all, yeah. I love seeing that. And thank you, Dog Pound Mike Right, for just saying that. Yeah. Yeah. Y'all, thank y'all for doing the work. I didn't know exactly how this was going to show up on the live. I do this with the season of self love, but it's really, pre-recorded, and I will get, the listeners that would write me emails and stuff like that, and tell me about the work that they done. But just to see this in real time live, it warms my heart, and it really just really pause for a second. It really, I see it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I see it, and it's truly a beautiful thing. It really is. It's really a beautiful thing. When you're doing the work in real time, and let me tell you what happens. That fear is going to show up. When you start doing the work in real time, fear is going to show up, and that shame is going to show up too. It's going to show up, and it's going to whisper to you, and it's going to say, you're doing too much. You're being too dramatic. You should just get back to them, or what happened. You should do that. Or it want to say out loud, and you say out loud, I'll go sit down somewhere because I'm claiming my space. And I'm growing unapologetically, because this is not too much. This is exactly right. And I am unashamed. All right, so I want y'all to say this with me right now. I am claiming my space. I am growing unapologetically, and this is not too much. This is exactly right. I am unashamed. So in the chats right now, I want you to type claimed. If you just committed to your bold action, just write claimed. Just write claimed. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So Dre 19, when we come back in 2 weeks, I'm going to ask you, is you still that side?
He said he going to post that video.
Okay, or if you the main man now. Go on a cruise. Nice. Nice. Yeah, so I see y'all. I see y'all. Y'all, this honestly, this is what healing looks like in real time. And listen, if you want to go deeper with the work, truly go listen to the Season of Self Love podcast this week. Monday episode is called Unashamed Growth, redefining what it means to bloom. And that's where I talk about my green bathroom story and choosing growth unapologetically. And Wednesday, the episode is about claiming your space, the work of unashamed growth, where we do a full version of this exercise, where we go even more in depth. Because y'all, this isn't just about heartbreak. It's not. This is about life. This is about every time someone leaves, every time a season ends, every time you outgrow something or someone, you got to leave the empty room, and you got to claim your space. You got to claim your space. All right, so let's get to step 3. This is about doing the inner work. Doing the inner work. This is where the real healing happens. I know y'all like, Daddy, now we ain't do the real healing. No, we still got 2 more after this. You got to ask yourself the hard question. What did this relationship teach me about myself? What did this relationship teach me about myself? What patterns did I repeat? What boundaries did I ignore? What red flags did I miss or did I dismiss? Excuse me. What wounds got triggered? What do I need to heal in myself before I'm ready to love again? Yeah, these are questions that you have to ask yourself, because here's the truth. Every relationship is a mirror. And it shows you what you need to work on. And it shows you your wounds. And it shows you your growth areas. And if you don't do the inner work, you just repeat the same patterns with a different person. And I saw somebody in the chat earlier today said, making the same mistakes. Mike, what does your inner work look like for men? What do you think that inner work for men, what it looks like?
Well, the inner work for men that we really gotta think about and realize that we have to do a lot of self reflection. We really got to think of our part in every part of the relationship, what we didn't do or did do, and we have to take accountability for it. And a lot of men need someone to talk to. Like I say, I don't know a lot of men, including myself, that has been to therapy who think they need therapy because we're kind of like, we can handle this, we got this, we can do this, and we kind of do self therapy. And what that is, that still is holding it in. That is still, that probably is the most hardest part of inner work for men is the therapy part, to talking to somebody, to getting some advice, to having that person to talk to.
Right.
But yeah, we can self-reflect and do something, but still you have to put it out there.
Yeah.
You got to put it out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for that. That is something so important. Again, we talk about women, always, they think about themselves. And when I say this, think about themselves, like taking care of themselves. Let's put it that way. So women more in touch with their emotions and feelings, what men tend to not to. And a good thing is that it is good for men to get therapy. Men do need to therapy. They need to journal too. Men need to sit with themselves and ask, why did I choose this person? Ask, why did I choose this person? What was I trying to fix? Or what was I avoiding? Inner work is not weakness. Inner work is strength. Inner work is strength. I'm going to say it one more time. Inner work is strength. Did I say inner? Inner. Inner work is strength. And inner work looks like either therapy or coaching, journaling regularly, meditation or prayer, sitting at your altar or being honest with yourself, reading books about healing, listening to podcasts like this one or the Season of Self-Love, having deep conversation with trusted friends, being willing to see your part in what happened. You don't have to blame yourself. Have grace with yourself. Remember, I had a conversation with one of my friends about this. But you do have to be honest with yourself. So chat, this is what I want you to do right now for your inner work. What I want you to put you. I want you to drop in there. Drop you. Just you. I want you to tell me, what does your inner work look like? I just want you first. Y-O-U. Thank you. You. Okay, pause for a second. All right, so what I ask for you, just you are, because right now we are a reflection of one another. So what we're talking about, we're seeing you. So that everybody on this chat, that's you. You get that? You. So now what does that inner work look like for you? Now I want you to drop in the chat, what does that look like for you? Now that you right here, when I told you to make that you, that was you being accountable for everybody in this chat today. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
I'll wait. I wish we had some theme music.
Music.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I love? I created my altar. And I've had it started off in my closet. It started off a little bit in my closet, and then it went from my closet. Then I created a whole, what I call a golden rose room. And I spend my mornings, that's why once I wake up in the morning, I go right to my altar the first thing in the morning. And I pray at that altar. And I ask to guide me through. I do my 4 agreements. I make an agreement with myself, the 4 agreements. And I ask for God to guide me through what my day is supposed to be, what I am to do. And then from there on, I go with my day. But I ask for that, yeah. And it's been amazing for me. It really have. I love seeing all of this. I really do. I love seeing all of this. All right, so let's move on to step 4. All right, step 4 is to reclaim your identity. Is reclaim your identity. That's when you are in a relationship, right? You are in a relationship, and especially a deep one. You start to merge your identities. We become more common than it's we. It become more common than I. And then you plan your life around them. You make decisions based on them. And then you lose part of yourself, right? So then when the relationship ends, you got to ask, who am I without them? What do I look like? What do I want? What are my dreams? What makes me happy? This is where you got to reclaim yourself. You got to reclaim yourself. So for me, that looked like going back to things I loved before the relationship. Trying new things I was always curious about. Spending time with my friends that I neglected. Rebuilding my relationship with myself. So Mike, have you ever lost yourself in a relationship?
To be honest, no, I have not.
Beautiful.
No, I have not.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a relationship always starts with myself. And to be in a good relationship, you have to be in with someone that you have some like-minded thoughts with. And as a couple, you build those together. So you still keeping a part of yourself while you building things together, And do everybody need time to take off for themselves? Yes, they do, But to me, that could be watching a movie.
Right.
That could be going to the game. That could be, But if you're with somebody you're very compatible with and you do things together, then even in that togetherness, you really don't lose a part of yourself. Some people get caught up in relationships where, and it's not a caught up. I mean, my first marriage, we was good together. We was really good together, but we really didn't have a lot in common. Going into 2 different directions. Very wonderful person, still friends to this day, but as a relationship together, we just wasn't going in the same direction. So we didn't lose part of each other because we never hit that togetherness of going in the same direction. And when you're young, you do that sometimes,
right?
Because you still got to find out who you are. before you get in a real relationship, you got to find out who you are.
Right. Right. Yeah. So it's good to hear that you never got lost in a relationship. I mean, for real, it is, because some people don't share that same story. You know, a lot of people, yeah, because after that heartbreak, you got to get back home to yourself.
Right. Yes.
You really do, and sometimes they don't know what that is. You talk about, and I'm gonna go with this, and it's probably gonna go a little further than this. When you, as a mother, as a mother that have children and a wife, you do lose yourself. And I guess maybe it's different for men and women, because you do lose your identity some, because you are a caregiver. You do so many different things for other people. Where you get lost on what makes me happy, or who am I besides a mother, a daughter, a caregiver, a wife. Who am I is. And so you have to go about and rediscovering who you are. So I guess for a man, I guess the same thing as a husband, as a leader of a household, as a man. Where does that come in? Do you ever lose your identity? Dog Pound Mike might say he didn't. He was able to come out of relationships and not being lost in there. Now, if anybody else of a man that felt like they've got lost, I would love to hear your perspective coming from a male point of view, if you've ever got lost, or if it's just a woman thing, because it might just be,
I like to comment on that, and because you are right, because as a man, you working and you doing your job, whether it may be, and you taking care of your family, you take care of your household, you being this provider, so that what you providing is part of you and part of who you are. So even if the relationship is good, you still provide. But it is harder for a woman, because there's a lot of women providers out here too. Single mothers and women are providing too. But women, you lose yourself with the kids, you lose yourself with your man. Sometimes you lose yourself in that relationship, because not only you're a provider, but you gave life.
Yeah.
You gave life. You carried that child. You have the ability to carry that child with you, which has to be a feeling that you don't get rid of. Not you can't get, you don't get rid of. So immediately, a part of your life is gone.
Right.
You lose a part of it, and
right.
So it's some men who can go to work every day, come home, take care of their family, do everything they're supposed to do, but they still have their life. Woman, you gotta go to work, take care of their family. You could come in, and then you still have to be that provider, that birth that child.
So let me give y'all some examples of what home to yourself, what it means. It means rediscovering your hobbies, reconnecting with your friends, doing the things that you enjoy. Even if your ex had hated them, just do the things that you enjoy, making decisions based on what you want, and just building the life that you want, building your life that you want. It's not like you starting over. It's not like you coming back to yourself. And what does that look like? So you reclaiming your life, you reclaiming. So Chad, if you can do this for me, tap, God dog it. At tongue tied. Type in the chat, type again, reclaim. If you're in the process of reclaiming your identity after a relationship. If you are reclaiming your identity after a relationship, type reclaim. It's got a little tongue tied there.
It's been a show.
Yeah.
It's been one of these shows.
Yes. Yes, I like seeing that. Yes. You keep on. Yes, I like seeing that. All right, in step 5, choose to be open again. Choose to be open again. And this is the hardest step, because after you've been hurt, your instinct is to build those walls, to never to love again, never trust anything again. Like I'm never being vulnerable again. You know, you ain't doing nothing again. You ain't, man. If I could tell you how many times some of my good girlfriends say, "Oh hell, no, I ain't." Mm-mm. But that's not healing. That is hiding. Healing is when you say, "That person hurt me, but I'm not going to let their actions close my heart." The next person deserves to meet the healed version of me, not the broken, bitter, guarded version. And that is what Miss K said in her letter. She said, "I am open to love again. The next person deserves the healed version of me." Now that's growth. That's healing. So being open again doesn't mean being naive. No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean having no boundaries. And it doesn't mean trusting everyone. It doesn't mean that. What it means that is that it's not punishing the new person for the old person's mistakes. It means being willing to be vulnerable again. It means trusting yourself to recognize red flags. And it means believing that healthy love is possible. Believing that healthy love is possible. So, Mike, what would you say to someone, man or woman, who is scared to be open again after a heartbreak?
Well, now, first thing I would tell them is take your time. Take your time to heal yourself and find yourself again. You know, find who you are before you can even start taking that step of being open after heartbreak. Because heartbreaks that's exactly what it feels like your heart is breaking and your heart is broke. So it is just about being open again and healing yourself and finding your words, finding who you are before you can move on.
Right. All right. That's a good one. All right, chat. The chat is open. So look, if you're choosing to keep your heart open even after it's been broken, you know, I love this, beautiful. This is healing right now in real time. So those are my 5 steps. Those are the 5 steps. I want you to feel it, all of it, and leave that empty room and claim your space and do the inner work. And I want you to reclaim your identity. Reclaim your identity and choose to be open again. So here go to 5 again. If you missed it again, feel it, all of it. Leave the empty room and claim your space. Do the inner work. Reclaim your identity and choose to be open again. Now let's hear from y'all. What questions do you have? If you have any questions, you go ahead and put them down in there. And what we're going to do real quick, we're going to take a quick break one more last time. And then we're going to come back and we're going to answer some questions, all right? It's your girl, the goddess, Nyomi Banks, here on Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast, and we'll be right back.
Washington Wellness Institute focuses on healing always. For me, if I look good, then I feel good. If I feel good, then I share the good. If I share the good, then I celebrate the good. If I celebrate the good, then I live the good. So I can be paid to be my greatest. But I have to learn the good to be the good.
So, what does it take to be the greatest? It's as simple as a free 15-minute consultation. Be kind to yourself and heal always.
What are some common barriers that prevent people from expressing? Hey, it's your girl, the goddess, Nyomi Banks, here from the Season of Self-Love podcast.
Yeah, I would say remorse. So shame and guilt is a very dividing emotional
And these are one of the many amazing conversations that we have every day, Monday through Friday, right here on the Season of Self-Love podcast with myself, Nyomi Banks, as well as our resident therapist, Dr. Will Washington of Washington Wellness Institute. Come by.
The reality of our relationships with people.
Come by.
And a lot of times we're afraid of how people look at us. And so that compassion can't enter.
You can hit us on the
So that's
website,
really
the
big
Season
barrier.
of Self-Love
Really big barrier.
podcast.com.
Let me ask you this: with the truth, is it? All right, well, welcome back to this to Ask Naomi Bridge the Gap podcast. It's your girl, you guys, Naomi Banks here with Dog Pound Mike. What's going on?
It's all good, all good.
All right, I see the chats there. I want to again thank you, BTG crew. All right, so chat, what questions do you have about healing a broken heart? What are you struggling with? What do you need to hear tonight? I want you to drop the questions in the chat. And Mike, you want to open up the stream if anybody wants to hop in on us live. If they want to do that, participants to address a few, questions to get them going from there. So he's gonna drop it in the chat right now. Remember, the rules is when you come on here, you're able to come through. Be very respectful when you come on live with us here. We, yeah, right?
Yep.
Yeah, right. All right. So, a question that was posed to me through social media was, how long does it take to heal? All right, and that's the question that everyone asks. And the truth is that it depends. It depends on how deep the relationship was, and it depends on how much work that you do. It depends on whether you're actually healing or if you're just distracting yourself. There's no timeline for healing. There's no timeline, but there are milestones, and you're healing when you can think about them without crying. You can see them or hear about them without your whole day being ruined. You know when you're healing, when you can be happy for yourself without comparing it to them. You know you're healing when you stop checking their social media. You know that you were healing when you stop hoping that they'll come back. And you know that you're healing when you stop feeling excitement, when you start feeling excited about your life. The whole thing is don't rush it. Don't camp out in the pain. Don't just sit in it. Don't marinate it in it. Don't do that. So Mike, what would you do?
I mean, all of them. I mean, like you said, when you're feeling good about yourself, when you're feeling more confident, when you're having more things to do, with yourself and being yourself before you was in that relationship, that's when you can start getting ready to move on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Another question is, what if I can't keep going back to them? Then you're not ready to leave the empty room yet. And that's okay. But you got to ask yourself, why am I going back? Are you going back because you genuinely believe it can work? Or are you going back because you're scared to be alone? Are you going back because they've changed? Or are you going back because the pain of missing them feel worse than the pain of being with them? Because sometimes we go back because we're not ready to grieve. We're not ready to accept that it's over. And sometimes you got to go back to finally be done. I told y'all, I went back 3 times. But if you keep going back and nothing changes, you're just choosing the same pain over and over and over again. So chat, I want y'all to be real. Has anybody been stuck in this cycle of going back and forth? Let me know in the chats. Yeah.
I just think people go back because it's like that's all they know.
Yeah. 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 And you can either even stop. I know when I read and Miss K, keep it going. I read in Miss K,
And she had said about, looking at the social media thing, unfollow, mute, and block if you have to, because sometimes they stuff can just come up there. I know it feels extreme, but baby, you cannot heal while you watching them live their life. You can't. So every time you check their page, you reopening the wound all over again. It's like you just picking that little sore, and it's still as raw as I don't know what. So you going back to that empty room. Here's the thing: social media is lies. Most of it is lies. It's highlights. It's curated, and you don't know what's really happening. So stop torturing yourself. If you can't unfollow, get an accountability partner. Tell someone, if you catch me on their page, call me out. Not like that, not on what's the name, but delete the app for a week. Give yourself a break. Mike, you got anything to add on that one?
Yeah, you just gotta let it go.
Let it go.
You gotta let it go.
Let it go.
Okay, we got somebody with a question here.
All right.
Let's bring them on.
All right.
Yeah, you just gotta let it go.
Hey, Dre.
How y'all doing? I got a question. So my question is, how do you have any tips rather for people that can help us like navigate the unknown after the healing? Because I saw in the comments a lot of people were saying, the fear of the unknown. So I was trying to see, do you have any like tips to give people about about said thing?
What's the unknown? But the thing is that that's where you have to figure out what it is that you want. You know what I'm saying? Usually what the unknown is what your biggest fear is, and that's not knowing. So the thing is trusting in what's coming first, what's coming next. It's surrendering to what is possible for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Does that make sense? So the thing is that we always in control of something. We always want to be in control of something. We always want to make sure we got this together. We got this together to make that next move. So we don't never just jump. We move cautiously. So remember when I said, I don't know if you heard me when I said that I pray and I go to my altar, and stuff like that. And sometimes you just got to do the work and allow whatever happens and move forward. So whatever that you've been in your life, listen to what I said. Whatever that you've been into in your life, whether it's good or bad, there's lessons that you learned throughout that whole thing that actually showed you everything that you need to be doing now and in the future. You just got to go back and like, damn, that's what that is. And you just moving in those steps and just moving forward and going in it. You already know what it is. You just trying to control it because you can't see it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Do it?
Yeah.
Okay. I want to make sure. Now you the one that you gonna, so next time I see you, you're gonna be main and not sad no more, right?
Oh no. I don't want to be main. I don't want to be her main. Let me say that. I don't want to be her main.
You don't want to be her main.
Yeah, I told her I was her side. Yeah. I put myself as the side guy.
Okay, but you want to be somebody's main.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Shit.
You don't sound sure about that one.
Yeah, you sound like that side piece was a good thing there.
It is. Look, I'm respectfully. It is.
Yeah, but the unknown, you already know what it is. You just got to step into it, surrender, and allow that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. I got y'all.
Allow it to happen. Thank you, though. This is the first time I see you on here. Thank you. I appreciate you.
It's good. It's been a minute. I used to come in regular, but Thursdays got hectic. But I try to start coming back regular.
No, well, thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Cool, Dre.
Have a good one.
100.
All right, my beautiful people. It's your girl, you got it. Nyomi Banks here on Ask Nyomi. We got another one.
Yeah, we got another. We got Tori.
All right. Hey, Tori. You got a question?
No, I'm just listening in. Sorry.
You just listening in?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just listening. I'm watching the game and listening, but I'm a big fan though, so I just want to support the stream and whatever you doing, I'm gonna support it.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the love. Have a good one, Tori. All right, my beautiful people. All right, so here's another question that came up. What if I see them with someone new? That's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt. I ain't gonna lie. But here's what you gotta remember. Their happiness don't take away from yours. It does not. Their new relationship doesn't erase what you had. And I know it might feel like it. They might be over there acting a true blue, like everything is Krispy Kreme, like everything is all. But sometimes people move on fast because they are running from the pain. And sometimes they move on because they're healed. But either way, it's not about you. It's not. Your focus is your healing. Your focus is your growth. Your focus is your life. And one day you won't even care. You won't even care. You will not even care. Remember what I talked about earlier today about the 4 agreements about me when I do it? It's a great book. The 4 agreements. That's a great book. Y'all need to get that book. I think the next time I'm gonna have it in the chats to make sure that's in there. And the next one is how do I trust again? You can start by trusting yourself. That's the first thing you do. Start by trusting yourself. Trust yourself. Recognize the red flags this time. Honor your boundaries. Honor your boundaries. Stop second guessing yourself and walk away when something doesn't feel right. Choose differently. You don't have to trust everyone. You don't have to be wide open and naive. You don't have to. But you do have to trust that you can handle whatever comes. Trust isn't about them. Trust isn't about them. Trust is about you. Trust is about you. Yes, trust is about you. It is. It's about you. All right, my beautiful people. So this is what I want to do right now, because we've been doing all this talking, right? And I want to talk about one of our sponsors for tonight, and that's Bodyotics. And I should have mentioned it before, but we got so deep into this healing process. But this is another part of the healing journey that we are on, especially me, that I'm into. And you know about taking care of your whole body, and that's inside out. And one of the sponsors that I'm proud to partner with is Biotics. Now, Biotics has, and I hope that I'm saying it, Biotics has a high quality supplements and wellness products designed to support your body naturally. But what I really want to highlight right now, is there 2 reusable, what is wrong with me today? Menstrual disc set bundles. And I know some of y'all right now, like Nyomi, what does that have to do with heartbreak? No, that's not it. What does that have to do with heartbreak? What does that have to do with heartbreak? But hear me out on this one. When you're healing from heartbreak, part of it is reclaiming yourself is taking care of your body, your physical health, your wellness, and your comfort. And for my ladies, this bundle is perfect. And that's because it's 30% off right now. It's 30% off right now. It's strong value. It's sustainable and it's eco-friendly and it's very caring for yourself and the planet. It's comfortable and it's reliable, which matters when you are already dealing with emotional discomfort. You don't want no extra stuff. Yes, it is. It encourages you to switch to reusable periods. Wow, which is better for your body long term. It is better for your body long term. This is about wellness, sustainability, and a lifestyle. So while we going through that heartache and a brain, we don't want to be going through other things with our personal stuff. This is about choosing products that's going to honor our body, honor your body when you are in your healing era. Every choice that you honor yourself, it matters. So if you're ready, go take that. Yeah, make that switch over. Take a sustainable, comfortable, yeah. Check it out. Bodyotics. The link is in the chat. So go show. Dre 19, go get that for your new boo-boo.
Hey guys, this is when you go to that other room that we were talking about.
Right. And they also, the thing is, they also have other wellness products and supplements and health products there as well. So, check them out. But just check them out. And also last week we had, one with Revive sponsors, that one right here. So Response is our other, Revive is our other sponsor there too. And they have some amazing toys there. Not only for women, but for couples as well. Some amazing ones. And since we're talking about open to love again, about choosing to heal, you can now show up whole in your next relationship. So let me talk about the Revive. Y'all know about the Revive because we talked about that long distance stuff last week, right? Long distance we talked about. So it makes the best couple intimacy products on the market. And when you ready to date again, when you ready to explore intimacy again, you want to show up confident and you want to show up present and you want to show up knowing your body because you had time to heal. You know what I mean? So now you got time to know what your body feels. Okay, now I'm gonna kind of go a little bit. But Revive, it has that sync too for that long distance intimacy, perfect for dating if you dating someone who travels. And then that date night set, remember that date night set from last week that gets both of the partners involved? Remember that one? As well as the romance set. That means when y'all say we're going to be a couple or we're just going to explore some things. So that was that 12-piece exploration kit for couples. Y'all know that was Dog Pound Mike. He put it on in there. He put it on in there. He put it on in the chats for all of y'all right there. And it will definitely be in the notes if you are listening to this on the replay here. Because again, this is part of the healing from heartbreak. It's reconnecting to your body, your pleasure, your desire. So whether you are in your self-love era right now or you're starting to date again and want to prioritize your intimacy, Revive has you covered. And again, the link is in the chat and will definitely be in your show notes down here, at the bottom. Yeah, you put it up. You put it up there.
Yes, it's been up there. Yep.
Thank you. Because when you invest in your pleasure, you invest in your healing because you do deserve it. You do deserve it. All right, my beautiful people. Whoa, we've been on here rocking. I told you we was turning up today.
You sure
Didn't
did.
I say that?
Yes, you did.
I said we were turning up today. All right, BTG family. So we've covered so much tonight. We went deep. We got real and we healed together. So let me leave you all with this. All right. Heartbreak is not the end of your story. It's not. It's a chapter. It's a chapter. It's a painful chapter. It's a chapter that you didn't want to write, but it's a chapter that is teaching you something. And when you do the work, when you feel it, when you leave that empty room, when you claim your space, man, when you do the inner work, when you reclaim yourself, when you choose to be open again, you become stronger. You become stronger. You become wiser. You become that version of yourself that is ready for love, ready for the love that you deserve. And Miss K, if you still on here watching, again, I'm going to say this again. I am so very, very proud of you because you are doing the work. Even though you think you're not, you are. You're healing and you are becoming. And to everyone in the chat who's heartbroken right now, I see you all and I love you all. And you all going to be okay. I want to thank y'all for real, for real, for real. And I want y'all to remember this. It's something that Ms. K said. She said about the sadness behind your smile. It won't last forever. That empty room, you're going to fill it with something beautiful. In that pain, it makes you wiser. Dalpa Mike, you got any final words?
Great show, beautiful show. And as Naomi said, for all you people, get stronger, heal, get over the heartbreak, and get ready to move on for your life.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right. So here's what I need you all to do. All right. All right. This is what I need y'all to do before we go. I want y'all to go to asknaomi.com. And I want y'all to listen to Talk to Me Tuesday, episode 4. Right. How do I get over a broken heart? If y'all got any time to do so. And then I want y'all to go listen to the season of self-love as well. To that podcast this week. If you haven't. And Monday's episode is all about unashamed growth, is redefining what it means to bloom. Wednesday episode was all about claiming your space, and that's the work of the unashamed growth. All right, my beautiful people. Well, again, let me not forget, we got
giveaway.
Oh yeah, we do. We got a giveaway. Have you been taking
Yes,
you have?
I have been taking notes on it, and we had some active people and active men today. And Russ's Lation was on early, doing a lot of things, a lot of comments going back and forth. Then we have Mark, who did a lot of work, and then Dre came in at the end. So we got a choice to make.
Oh wow.
And they was all men. They was all involved. They was getting there. But I may have to give it to Dre just because he popped on.
Okay, Dre.
So Dre 19.
Dre 19. All right. Pair of socks. All right. Two pair of socks actually, because you have to give it to someone. You have to wear it. We explain it. I can't explain. See, I know that's right. All right. So listen. Submit your letter to Ask Naomi if you're going through something. It's info@asknaomi.com, and that is Naomi spelled with the Y, Nyomi. And also you can check out the Reclamation series blog on asknaomi.com too. Shame on me. I'm supposed to have the designs ready for the mental awareness month, for the love and mental awareness for next month. I don't have it just yet because we've been deep down in production for Call 2. Episode 3 and 4 will start shooting next week. And so I will definitely work on it this weekend and try to have it up and promoting it within the next week or two for that. So remember, guys, no show next week. No show next week. Lord have mercy. No show next week. Again, because we're in production for Call 2, but we will be back in a few weeks. But also follow us on Call _2 the series. Just follow me. I'll be posting them. Go follow over there. And remember to do your bold action and claim your space. And claim your space. Right? All right, my beautiful people. It's been good. It's been a good show. As I always say, be good to one another in yourselves. And always keep it sexy. Stay reclaimed and unashamed. Remember to claim your space, fill it with growth. And remember, your heartbreak doesn't define you. Keep healing. Have a good one. Have an amazing, amazing day.
Hey, it's the goddess Naomi Banks. And I hope you enjoyed that last episode of Ask Naomi Bridging the Gap. And if you did, please like, subscribe, press that notification button, as well as comment. I'll see you next week. Keep it sexy.
Ask Naomi Bridging the Gap. This is where we talk about love, sex, relationships, cultural differences, and so much more.